Hello, Katsari. Good afternoon. How are you?
Hi, teacher. I'm fine, thanks. And you?
I'm fine, thanks to you. So tell me, how's your day going?
It's going well.
That sounds good. So you wasn't home?
Yes, I was at home.
Okay, nice. Okay, so well, and we're going to start the class. So do you have any questions about the last class?
No,
Okay. So do you remember what we learned the last class?
about body parts and get uh, sickness.
This
Mm,
is right.
This is. Uh-huh.
Like okay, so yeah, now the last class we learned about the parts of the body parts, body's parts, and the face. We talk about some diseases.
Yes.
Iris like have in this case some diseases and symptoms like fever and headache, like chickenpox,
Yes.
high blood pressure, etc. Right?
Yes.
Okay, so we are going to continue with it. So give me a second. I'm going to share the link to Nearpod to
Okay.
continue on it. Okay, so you have now the activity on Nearpod. Oh, the link on Nearpod on WhatsApp.
I'm in airport.
You're in Nearpod now. Okay, so the last class we was talking about some vocabulary. For example, fever, injury, high blood pressure, the surgery, chickenpox, food poisoning, and we talk more. We learn more vocabulary like scrums, like infection, like indigestion, like nosebleed, and others, for example, like vomit, like dry tooth, backache, etc. Okay,
Mhm.
so we are going to continue with this next activity. Okay, in this activity, we have what's the matter. You need to click on the image
Okay.
and it open a other page, other yes, to other page, and you have the what's matter, and you have some audios. Yeah, so the idea is to match the correct word with the correct picture. Okay, for example, first we have a someone that is touching his back. So in this case, I think it's backache,
Oh, okay.
right?
Yes.
And the other activity is choose the correct answer. Choose, choose the correct answer by each question. For example, what's the matter? And you have an image. And you have three options. I have a stomachache, I have pain in the neck, and I have a cold. So in the first image, I think the correct here is I have a cold. Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. So when you finish, please take a screenshot of your score and send it on WhatsApp, please.
Okay. Teacher.
Done. Okay, the activity was really easy, right? So
Yes.
we continue with the next on your boot. Are you on the page?
Not yet. I'm on nearput. I see page 16.
You see now, how do you feel?
Yes.
Okay, okay, well, now that we have vocabulary, when we have a conversation with, for example, with someone or with the doctor, it's common to have these questions and answer like this way. For example, how are you? And you can say fine or I'm sick. Or you have other questions like how are you today? How do you feel? How do you feel today? And you can answer with different adjectives, or in this case, and vocabulary about symptoms or disease. When you hear or see that someone is not well, when then you can ask what's the matter or what's wrong. For example, you are with a friend and you see that he looks like sick. You can ask him what's the matter. And the common, uh, yes, the common way to answer this question is say I have and they have problem, or I have got and they have problem. And these two ways has the same meaning. Tengo o he cachado, for example, un resfriado. I have a sick or I've got a sick, uh, etc. Do you have questions about these questions and responses?
No.
Okay. So we have here, for example, a conversation with a doctor. How are you feeling? Not very well. How are you today? I'm not feeling well. What's the matter? I'm sick. And what's wrong? Not so good. Okay, these are useful phrases. For example, you have and temperature, you have a headache, you have a stomachache. Uh, the other phrase, useful phrase is the doctor gives me a transcription. Transcription is receta.
Okay.
I buy some medicines. Have you already seen a doctor? It's when you look someone that is sick, you ask what's the matter, and he responds, "I'm sick. I'm not good. I'm not well." You can ask him, "Have you already seen a doctor?"
Okay.
The other useful phrase is, "Please take me to the hospital." Take me, it's llévame. So take me to the hospital and I need first aid. First aid, primeros auxilios. We have other useful phrases. For example, do you have to make an appointment? Do I have to make an appoint? The appointment, cita. I feel a little nauseous, mareado. Nauseous, mareado. Chills. I have chills. Tengo escalofríos. Chills. Lie down. Recuéstate. Acuéstate. Open your mouth wide. Abra bien la boca. Stick out your tongue. Stick out. Sacar. Saque la lengua. What's the matter? Excuse with me. How often must I take his medicine? How often, es que tan seguido. So how often must, debo I take to this medicine, and how long have you had this pain? ¿Hace cuánto tiempo que tiene este dolor? Do you have questions about these useful phrases?
No.
No. Okay, so now we have other activity. We have, we need to click to the image. And now we have what's the matter? What's the matter? So in this case, you are going to, well, you're going to do the same. But the first activity, you need to match the matter, this is the symptom with the image. And the second activity, it's you can listen, you can click in the image and listen what's the word, and you need to rewrite the letters to complete the word, right? Questions about
Okay.
this activity?
No.
Okay.
Done, teacher.
Done. Okay, the activity was easy too. Questions?
Not really.
Not really. Okay, I'm going to close nearby. So tell me if you get quit of the page while we are going to share the book. Okay, so we are on health. We are here, aches and pains, right?
Yes.
Okay, aches and pains. Building vocabulary. Okay, now we are going to do this activity. We have complete the chart with the words above. Add other ideas. Okay, with your own ideas, add vocabulary. Try to add 3 words by each chart. For example, I never get colds. Okay, in my case, I sometimes get colds. Right? I never get yes, I never have an allergy. I hardly ever uh, I hardly ever have a backache. I sometimes I sometimes have or sometimes get a cold, and I often have a headache. Right? So try to
Okay.
write by each chart 3 ideas. Okay?
Okay. Don't, teacher.
Done. Okay, so tell me. Okay, what did you write in I never?
I never broken
Never
an arm.
broken.
I
Never.
never sprained an ankle.
Okay.
And I never had a bleed.
Okay. Good. What about I hardly ever?
I hardly ever have a toothache. I
Hmm.
hardly ever have an earache. And I hardly ever have a sunburn.
And sunburn. Okay. And sometimes.
I sometimes have a headache. I sometimes have a stomach ache. And sometimes I have the flu.
Okay. And the last I often.
I often have allergies. I often have cramps. And I often have colds.
Okay. Easy questions.
No.
No. Okay. So now we have speaking naturally contracts. Contrast. Okay. It's really common when you're talking that you need to make a contrast in a specific word. For example, what's the matter? Do you have a cold? No, I have a headache. I feel terrible. That's too bad. I hope you feel better. Thanks. Okay, we are going to listen and repeat this conversation, okay? So I'm
Okay.
going to share the computer audio. Give me a second. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Page 24. 2. Speaking
Can you listen the audio?
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
naturally. Contrasts. A. Listen and repeat the conversation above. Notice how stress shows the contrast between headache and cold, and between better and terrible.
What's the matter? Do you have a cold?
What's the matter? Do you have a cold?
No, I have a headache. I feel terrible.
No, I have a headache. I feel terrible.
That's too bad. I hope you feel better.
Thanks.
That's
Okay,
too bad. I hope you feel better. Thanks.
how you can see, it's normal when you are talking to make contrast into different words. Like, for example, do you have a cold? Do you have a cold? I have a headache. I feel terrible. I hope you feel better. Questions about this?
What
This
is
is
a
awesome.
con-
This word was not straight. What is, sorry, again?
mm, a contrast?
Contrast. Well, in this case is when you listen and stress word. When you hide the load when you're talking, the sound.
Um,
When,
okay.
yes?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so now we have other activity. We have fill the language. Listen. What does Nora want to make for Ken? Practice the conversation. Okay, we have here a conversation. We have, hello. Hi, Ken. How are you feeling? Awful. I still have this terrible cold. That's too bad. Are you taking anything for it? Just some cold medicine. I never take that stuff when I have a cold, but if I get a really bad cold, I think I drink hot vinegar with honey. I can make you some. Oh no, thanks. I don't feel that bad. Okay, so mm, yes, have you ever do something similar like Nora when you feel bad? Made a mix of different things to get a drink or maybe to get something to eat, like to medicine, like a brebash.
Mm, Sometimes I have tea and honey with mm, lemon, but I have a uncle who makes a strange beverage like garlic with honey and milk to heal sore throat or colds.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I get it. Well, that's good. That's good. Well, in my case, once friend said me that I need to try to drink brebash to honey and lemon. Well, a tea with honey, lemon, ginger, thing, cinnamon, and I don't remember the other thing. But he said that it's really good. It's really good to or to feel better.
Okay.
Okay. So have you ever tried something like this? You say your uncle, right? He usually is do something like that. But what about you?
Mm, Not really, just honey with lemon or uh, teas or something like that.
This or something like that. Okay, yeah. Well, good. Well, now we are going to do the next activity. The next activity, we need to scroll the sentences below. Okay, for example, I take a cold when medicine I have. Okay, if we check the conversation, we have uh, when I have a cold, I take medicine, right? So what about in number two?
If I have the flu, I make a hot tea with lemon.
Yes, if I have a flu, I make hot tea with lemon. So in this case, we are learning some joining clauses with if and when. Okay, a clauses is when you write two phrases and one phrase is the consequence to the other phrase. For example, I got a cold because I didn't put on a sweater. Right? So in this case, we have an activity and the consequence. So that's in this case a clauses. And it's normal when we have some clauses to use the if and when. And well, this can be in different places on in the sentence. It's normal to join the first phrase, the first sentence with when, and the other sentence by the same by if, the sentence, if and sentence. But sometimes you can get or you can have this structure. So you write first the when or the if, you have a phrase and you have another phrase. So in this case, this clauses talks about um a consequence. Okay, so in this case, we usually use this to connect two ideas to, for example, what do you have a cold? Well, sorry, what do you take when you have a cold? So in this case, we are here, yes, we are connecting two ideas. What do you take and when you have a cold? The other that we have, I don't take anything when I have a cold. When I have a cold, I don't take anything. What did you do if you get a really bad cold? I drink hot vinegar with honey if I get a really bad cold. I get a really bad cold, I drink hot vinegar with honey. Okay, so in this case, a clause is words that talks about something, and we say that a consequence. So the difference to normal phrase and clause is that normal phrase only talks, for example, or has a noun and has a verb for an adjective, right?
Okay.
And not verb and a preposition. But a clause is a group of words that have a independent consequence, about a consequence of something. This is clear.
Entonces, clause is two independent phrases, and the normal one were uh, just a phrase.
Yes, yes, it's true. They both depending by the other. Or see that.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so in this case, in these clauses, we are talking more like a conditionals, like a condition, non-conditional. This case, a condition and the result. For example, in this case, we have two phrases on present simple, right? Two phrases on present simple.
Okay.
So in this case, we have a condition and a result. For example, we have I don't take anything. Okay, in this case, when I have cold, that's the condition, and the result, I don't take anything, right?
Yes.
So in this case, it's like a conditional. So in this case, this rule that we have here, not present simple and present simple, we usually use when we have a fact, and this fact is true, like a normal sentence. Yes. For example, other example could be if you drink cold water, you can get a cold, right?
Right.
If you drink water, you can get a cold. Okay. So in this case, the use of if and the use of when is really similar. In this case, in Spanish, if is sí and when es cuando. So, entonces, la diferencia de what do you do if, ¿qué haces si? What do you take when? ¿Qué tomas cuando? Entonces, en el caso del if es más una condición. ¿Qué haces si pasa esto? Right? Y ¿qué haces cuando tienes esto? Right?
Okay.
Entonces, pues nosotros vamos a usar el if para introducir pues una situación posible o una condición, right? For example, I drink hot vinegar with honey if I get a really bad cold. Yeah, and
Okay.
that's the use to if. Yes, this is easy. And we use when. Nosotros usamos when más para referirnos a una situación en un tiempo, right? Una condición que pues va relacionada a alguna situación de un tiempo. Por ejemplo, en este caso, el tiempo podría ser cuando tienes un resfriado, right? Entonces,
Okay.
¿qué es lo que tomas cuando tienes un resfriado? Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Easy. So now we are going to complete the questions with if you follow by the correct expression from the box. For example, we have feel run down, feel sore, get a toothache, get an upset stomach, have a bad cold, have a headache, have a runny nose, and have a sore throat. For example, the first say, do you have gargle salt water if you have a sore throat? Tú haces gárgaras, porque es una pregunta, ¿haces gárgaras con agua salada o agua con sal? Si tú tienes dolor o molestias en la garganta.
Okay.
Entonces continuamos de la 2 a la 8.
Okay. Don't, teacher.
Done. Okay, so we have here number 2. What sounds for my number 2?
If you get an upset stomach after a meal, do you drink herbal tea?
Okay, yes. If you get an upset stomach. Number 3.
What do you do if you run down and you have no energy?
What do you do if you feel run down? Okay, number 4.
Do you stretch if you feel sore after exercising?
If you feel sore. Okay, number 5.
If you have a runny nose and itchy eyes, do you take allergy medicine?
Number 6.
If you get a toothache, do you go to the dentist right away?
Mhm. Number 7.
What do you do if you have a bad cough? Do you suck on a cough drop?
And the last, number 8.
What do you do if you have a headache? Do you take aspirin?
Exactly. Easy. Okay. Questions about vocabulary?
What is cough drop?
What is cough drop? Okay. Well, do you say right?
Yes,
What do you do if you have a bad coat, right?
yes.
And the next question, do you suck on a coat drop? Coat drop, it's like medicine by the cough, by the coat. Yes. Um, it's like a medicine. What's the name of it? This is like pastilla para la tos.
Okay.
Pastilla para la tos. Because drop es gota, right? Y
Yes.
como verbo es dejar caer. Pero en este caso, en vez de gota, sería pastilla.
Okay.
Pastilla. So a cold drop, pastilla para la tos. Any other questions?
No.
What is the meaning to upset stomach?
Estómago enfermo. Mm,
So. Si alguien te dice, if you get a upset stomach after a meal, do you drink a herbal tea? ¿Qué interpretarías como upset stomach? Si te dicen, do you drink a herbal tea?
mm, Estómago como muy lleno.
Muy lleno. Okay, yes, maybe. Remember, upset is trastornado, right?
Sí.
En este caso sería malestar.
Okay.
Yes, malestar estomacal.
Okay.
Run down. ¿Cuál sería el significado de feel run down?
Puede ser como eh, sentirse decaído o algo así.
What do you do if you feel run down and you have no energy? Decaído. Okay, yeah, maybe it's a good option. The other is like tired too. Tired, run down, feel run down, tired. When you feel sad too, is a good option too. And you have not energy. Okay. Running out through headache upset. Okay, by the way. So we continue with the next. Okay, we have the lesson C. Really? How come? Conversation strategy. Encouraging people to talk. Why do people get tired? Brainstorm ideas and make a list. Okay, tell me, can tell you why do people get tired?
Because they have a, a lot of job.
They have a lot of jobs. Okay. What
Mm,
more? For
be-
example, why do you get tired? Why?
when I have to clean much, um, when I have to a lot of um, homework, when I go to school and have a, a really long class. Mm, when I was sick.
Okay, yeah, it's true. When I get sick, when I have a lot of work, when I have a really long class, when I went out all day, etc. Or maybe
Yes,
when you go to do the shopping, no?
yes.
Sometimes it takes you like 2 hours or three. It depends. What are you going to buy? Okay, so well, now we have a conversation. We have why is Stan tired? Okay, can you help me reading the conversation, please?
Okay. I'm so tired. Really? How come? Well, I'm working 2 jobs this semester, so I'm getting up at like 5:30 to study. You are kidding. 2 jobs? Wow. Yeah, just for a couple of months. I'm working in a supermarket after class, and then I have my regular job at the restaurant till 11 o'clock.
Uh-huh.
I don't see the rest.
You can see the rest? Okay. Now this change?
No,
No. Okay, give me a second. I'm going to share again the screen.
okay.
Can you see the screen now?
Yes. Oh,
Yes, great.
oh,
Uh-huh.
that's late. So, what time do you go to bed? About 1:30. Gosh, so you are only getting about 4 hours sleep? That's not much.
Okay, so tell me, why is Stan tired?
Because he has he have he has 2 jobs and the school.
Exactly, he has two jobs and the school, so he spent a lot of time on it, right?
Yes, and they had no sleep enough.
Yes, exactly. He didn't sleep enough. He didn't sleep enough.
Yes.
No durmió lo suficiente. Okay. O he isn't sleeping enough. Él no está durmiendo lo suficiente. Enough. Okay. So, do you have questions about vocabulary?
No.
Okay. So, now we are going to match each sentence with an appropriate reply. For example, number one. I often stay up until 2 or 3 a.m. And we have letter E. Really? What do you do all night? Really? What do you do all night? So we continue with number 2 to number 6.
Okay. Done, teacher.
Done. Okay, so what's the answer by number two? I love sleeping late on weekends.
Letter F. Me too. What time do you get up on Sundays?
Letter F, number three. I often take a nap during my lunch break.
Letter D. At work. How long do you sleep?
Yes. Number four. I only sleep about 5 hours a night.
Letter C. That's not much. Do you get tired during the day?
During the day, exactly. Number five. I sometimes fall asleep in lectures.
Letter A. You do? Does the professor notice?
Exactly. And the last, I usually go to bed early during the week.
Letter B. That's good. Do you wake up early too?
Exactly. Easy. Just about questions about vocabulary.
No.
Okay, so okay, yes, easy. Well, in this case, we are going to finish class by today.
Okay.
Do you have activities on recreo, Quetzalí?
Yes, I have activities.
Please continue with activities. If you have questions, that you can ask me. So we are going to finish the class by today. So thanks for being here on class, and we continue on Monday. So take care.
Thank you, teacher. Bye. Good weekend.
Bye. Good weekend too.